which we're going to talk about the things that need to be added back into the game. There's Madden has dropped a lot of features, right? There was a lot of things back in the day on previous generation consoles. I'm talking about like Madden '07, Madden '08, more Madden '06, Madden '07, more than '08. Maybe 7, '08, right? Back with like Vince Young was on the cover. Those games, not only were they on PC, which they just brought it back, but they had a lot of features, especially for franchise mode fans, that were fantastic. So I'm going to talk about some of those features that they had. One of the things that I really liked was the preseason position battles, right? Right now in Madden, if you play a franchise mode, you might as well just skip the preseason. You know why? Because it is absolutely pointless. It's stupid. It sucks. They can't even get the whole, starters don't play, but the first two drives, and then they get set that down for the rest of the game in the first week. And then the week 3 of the preseason is supposed to be when the starters play the entire first half. They can't even get all of that right. People are all over the place. You got your best players playing on special teams. It's just all kinds of garbage going on. They can't get that right. But one of the things that would make it cool still is back in the day, they used to have it where if you had two players that played the same position and they had a rate, their overall rating was within like 2 or 3, then they were engaged in a position battle. And, you were evaluating which player played the best during that time period. Now, one tweak I think they could offer to it that they didn't have at that time is if two players are actually engaged in a position battle and one of the guys actually outplays the other one, even if he has a lower overall rating, I think that if he wins the position battle, his overall rating should automatically jump ahead of the guy who he was battling. Because back then, they used to have these position battles. And say, for instance, you had a one wide receiver who had a 69 and the other guy had a 71. Well, the 69 guy would actually win the position battle, but his overall rating wouldn't go up higher. So you still were kind of like, well, should I really start him or should I just go with the guy with the higher rating? So I think the first part of it was right, but the result could have been done even better that made the actual position battle matter. And I thought that would have been really awesome. So that's one thing that I think that should come back. Another thing I think should come back is the creative team feature. Now, if y'all know me and you've been watching any of these videos, you already know how I feel about creative teams in pretty much all sports games. I think it is like should be a standard type of thing. Like it's there all the time. Yeah, this should be here. And it's not. So that's something that I really feel like, yeah, we got to get that in at some point, bringing it back. I don't know what happened. I don't know why we got to a place where, it's just, it almost feels like I don't know. I want to say that the NFL doesn't really want you to have like full control of these teams. I've been led to believe that from talking to EA before, but there was a guy, I'm trying to remember his name. He did a really awesome video. It was like something like some soda sports or something to that effect. He did a really awesome video about things that the NFL, what the NFL will and won't allow EA to have in the game. And they did an interview with Rex Dixon, the former creative director, and he pretty much started talking like, hey, a lot of that stuff that EA was saying, or leading us to believe about what could and couldn't be in the game, a lot of that wasn't true necessarily. Maybe it was just EA not wanting to devote the right amount of attention to I believe it's Soft Drink Sports or something to that effect is the guy who did the video. Maybe they just didn't want to devote what they needed to devote to actually put that out, with things like the creative team and all of those different features and relocation and that sort of thing. So I don't know. Was EA hiding behind the NFL shield? I don't know if they were or not, but I do know that we need creative team in the game to really, really bring our franchise modes to life. I think that's something that's essential. The best franchise mode in sports video games right now has that. It is My League for NBA 2K. I mean, if you compare what 2K has done with my league and my GM, and you compare it to Madden's franchise mode, and to be totally honest with you, anybody's franchise mode, it pretty much pales in comparison. So Madden needs to step up their game because their franchise mode community is really strong. Like, I know we're at a place with sports gaming where most people kind of lean towards going with the online modes more, and online head-to-head and collector modes. But the Madden community still really, really loves franchise mode. And I think that EA owes it to them to deliver to them the best franchise mode. And the creative team is one part of that. Another thing that I like, and I think this definitely is also a franchise mode feature, and it's offensive and defensive coordinators, period. And that's not even just a franchise mode feature. This is a MUT feature. This is an exhibition online feature. It's all of that. Offensive and defensive coordinators are that's important. That's important. And it should impact the game, right? It should impact player development. It should impact the performances of these players. We already have this scheme match, right? We already have that. So now, what if we take that and drill down another layer, right? And now you have these offensive and defensive coordinator situations where if you have a Kevin Gilbride, or you have a Dom Capers, or you have, a Mike Martz type situation, or whatever this scheme is that you have, let's not put the scheme entirely on the coach. Let's put the coordinator in there. And now if you have this, it should be like a perfect triangle, right? So you should have the head coach and his philosophy, and then you have the coordinators and their philosophies. And if everything aligns properly, then now you realize, oh, okay, I actually have the perfect triangle. My coach is on board with my head coach is right along aligned with the offensive coordinator, and the head coach is aligned also with the defensive coordinator. That right there, and that affects how my team performs. That's the perfect way to do it. But right now we don't have offensive or defensive coordinators involved at all, and that is not the way that it should be at all. All right, let's go into the next thing that I would like to see in Madden, older feature to come back. And that is the players retiring and then becoming coaches and coordinators. That was so awesome. Like, I remember back in the day I was playing, I think I had like the Denver Broncos or something. And I remember Bill Romanowski retired, and then shortly after that, he became a defensive coordinator. Same thing happened with Ty Law. I had played so many seasons that we saw the same thing happen with Ray Lewis. It was crazy good. It was crazy good. And I have no idea why they took that out. It doesn't make any sense to me. I couldn't begin to tell you why they took that out. Maybe now they have some sort of licensing where with the players, you can only use them in a player capacity. I don't know. That even sounds stupid, but whatever. It sucks. And I really need to have that come back, especially, like I said, for franchise mode fans. It would be fantastic. Lastly, and I think this actually could kind of fix everything, right? Owner mode. Owner mode was the pinnacle of franchise mode for Madden and football period. You want to know something? Check this out. NFL 2K5. I actually liked the gameplay of NFL 2K5 so much better than whatever it was, Madden 05 when it came out, right? Liked it way better. You know why I kept playing Madden? You don't want to know why? I kept playing Madden because the franchise mode in Madden, because of owner mode, was so much better than the 2K owner mode. You know what? I remember having this conversation with my brother. I told my brother, he was like, "Man, 2K, NFL 2K is just a better game, man. I'm telling you, it's a better game." And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? I would like to play 2K. If you gave me one game and told me I had to play one game, a single game, which one would I play?" I said, yes, I would absolutely play 2K. But I said, but if I'm playing an entire season, I said, because of this owner mode and all of the stuff I can do here, I'd rather play Madden. And now you take owner mode out. And you took owner mode out for decades, literally, for more than a decade. And it's so, but I guess you take 2K, you take NFL 2K out too, and then you don't have to do either or. But owner mode needs to come back. Owner mode absolutely needs to come back. It was a fantastic feature, so well done from top to bottom. I would just love to see it come back. So that is all I got for you on Madden today. So what's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik, the hardest working man in sports and gaming, and I am the sports and video game journalist. And this is Mazik Speaks.
How could I be weak? I'm rather unique.